Welcome to another tutorial from HMT Mechatronics. In this tutorial, we're going to give you a guideline on how to set up communications between an LS Industrial Systems PLC and an LS Industrial Systems Remote I/O, both on Ethernet IP or Ethernet Modbus TCP IP. First important thing to do is to set up the PLC as a master and the remote I/O as a slave station. Both devices must have unique IP addresses, and therefore we are going to give the PLC an IP address of 192.168.0.1, and for the remote I/O we're going to give it 192.168.0.2. We're going to use two different software packages to set up these IP addresses. In the PLC side we're going to use Network Manager, and on the remote I/O side we're going to use Modbus Server. Both these packages are downloadable from LSI's website, which is www.lsis.biz. First, we're going to start off by opening up Modbus Server. It's quite a simple little program. Once you've opened it up, it will automatically pick up your PC's IP address there, and you must just specify the IP address of the remote I/O, which in our case is 192.168.0.2. We're going to leave the subnet mask as default 255.255.255.0, and we're going to make the gateway 001. Once you've done with this, you simply go right and you write the information to the remote I/O. Please make sure all your devices are linked up on Ethernet via either a hub or a router. Once this is done, you just close this program and you go to XG5000, which is the PLC software. Inside XG5000, go to Tools, Network Manager, and this is what will open up. Tools, Network Manager. Going to create a new file. We're going to give it the name comms. Make sure you got the right PLC selected. You right click on base 0 and you go properties. Going to make it fast Ethernet, and this is the first slot. When we double click on fast Ethernet, it will ask for the IP addresses. In our case, it must be 1. Please make sure you've got the same subnet mask as your remote I/O, and the rest you can leave as default. Down here on your driver, you must select Modbus TCP IP, and we're not going to use these settings, as these settings are only if the PLC is going to be the slave, but in our case it's going to be the master, so we just leave that out for now. We go OK, and we go down to peer-to-peer. Once you click on the peer-to-peer tab here, it will give you 3 peer-to-peer options. The first one is for CNET, and we're going to use the second one, which is for Ethernet. Double clicking on peer-to-peer 02, we can specify fast Ethernet on slot 1, and we go OK. Once you double click on channel, you can specify the driver, which will be Modbus TCP client, and you must give it the appropriate partner IP address, which is the remote I/O IP address. In our case 192.168.0.2. If you double click on block, we're not going to do anything about the email because we're not going to use it now. So you just select the right channel. Please note it brings up automatically Modbus TCP IP client there. We're going to write one frame, and then we're going to read another frame just after this one's done. Our conditional flag can be an internal flag of the PLC, which is abbreviated by _T200 milliseconds. The command type can either be continuous or single. For now we're only going to make it single. The data type will be Word. We're not going to use the station number because we are running on an Ethernet IP address. Scroll to the right and select settings. The read area refers to the internal memory area of the PLC, which is typically %MW0. On the save area side, it's the physical Modbus address of the remote I/O. For more information on this, you either have to refer to tutorials on the internet on Modbus TCPIP, or you can refer to the LSIS manual. If we have to put in a read command, we go through the same setup, except in this case it will be read. We can use the same flag, but the more flags you've got, eventually you'll have to poll through them one by one. You cannot switch them on and off on the same flag. So you'll typically have to make this %MX1 and %MX0 and so forth. Then you'll have to write a short little loop in the PLC to scroll through these conditional flags. We're going to read a single word. Once again, we untick destination. We go settings. The read area is the one from the remote I/O, and the save area will be typically %MW100 internal memory of the PLC. Once you've done with all of these, you go to online connection settings. Make sure you got the appropriate connection and COM port, and go connect. Once you are connected, you can write all these parameters down. Once it's all written down, you go online reset PLC. Then you go online enable link high-speed link peer-to-peer, and you're only enabling peer-to-peer to the one you are busy using. Once that is done, you should be getting communications between the PLC and the remote I/O. Good luck for the rest of your program.